Hey guys, back again, and today's video, guys, is going to be me and the wife, as my wife is now back, and we're going to explain what actually happened, because obviously, as you guys know from previous videos, I was on bail and my wife was took away from me, but now she can speak her own part of it, guys, and we can explain what actually ended up happening and how we ended up getting treated. So yeah, it might be a bit of a long video, guys, probably about 20 odd minutes. Hopefully keep it down a little bit, but we'll see how far we get, guys. But in the meantime, guys, this is the video of me and the wife back together, guys.
Yeah, and I'd like to say I'm back.
Yeah, she's back, guys. So right, guys, basically a long story short, the wife had been going to the doctors and having meetings with the doctors over things to do with her and her life and nothing to do with me.
Do you want me to say?
Yeah?
I'll say it in a nutshell. But I sort of seen this woman who was helping us out with our benefits.
Hang on, let me just pass her the phone. It might be a bit quiet. There you go. It's not very good for wire, so I'll have to pull it.
I got it.
There you go.
Yeah, I was seeing someone to help us with our benefits. And this woman was like from a thing called like the Help Hub. I don't know if anyone else has had that sort of thing before, but
Let me just get this put that. For reasons we can't name people's names at the moment, guys. So we're gonna be like just woman or
yeah, because
example.
we can't. And so she's helped with that. And that's no secret. But last year, my husband got arrested. He was accused of things he hadn't done because of my members of my family.
Which is also up on the video on there.
Yeah, and so when that happened, I was explaining how their members of the family actually were, and that they had no right to be saying things like that. And that started off a case, and the police were called out to interview me, and I gave an interview and given a statement on the things that happened to me as a child. And from the basis of that, that's how I met this police officer. I thought they were dealing with the abuse side of things from my side of the family. That's what I was told. That's what I gave a statement on. Then, and that was over a year ago, I did that. Then, unbeknown to me, the woman from the Help Hub and this police officer that had given my statement, they'd been getting together and creating all sorts of scenarios from this woman from the Help Hub because we were having difficulties financially, and she was accusing my husband. I didn't know that. She then, because of my husband's schizophrenic, they were like, he must be abusive, he must be this, he must be that, he must be the other. And to cut a long story short, I've been ill and I've been in hospital in and out, and in their eyes, because I've had illnesses that had nothing to do with Christopher, they're physical illnesses.
And i.e. appendix.
Yeah, for things like I've had appendicitis, I had to have my appendix out. I've got a heart problem now and other medical issues that are nothing to do. Yeah, but are nothing to do with you. And I've got physical disabilities again that I was born with, but they're somehow twisted into all being Christopher's fault, and it accumulated into the police ringing up pretending to be our doctor's surgery, asking me to go and get some blood results because I had blood work that week. I'd just come out of hospital. You can see from the previous video I was in, I was high as a kite on the drugs they gave me. And I went in there to get the results of my blood, so I thought, and when I got there, the bloke asked me, "Are you so and so?" I won't say my name, and I said yes. They took me into the room, which is our usual doctor's room, and then he was like, "Just come with me, will you?" And there was two women waiting for me, and they said, "Look, we're sectioning you and blah 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 and all this, and putting you for safety." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Don't worry, just come follow us." And they got me arm by arm and dragged me out the back of the surgery and put me in this van and then drove away like something out of a movie. But as I was being driven past, I caught a glimpse of my car where my husband was sat, and the police had it surrounded. And I was like, what on earth is going on? Now, this is the strange part. When I was in the van then, when we got onto what we call the carriageway here, I was then had a blindfold put on, and what seemed like forever, I was driven to a place and I wasn't allowed to look until I got there. And when I did finally get to look, I was put in this locked room with a bed and a wardrobe, and that was it. And then I wasn't told anything, and I was in there for hours upon hours upon hours. Finally, someone who said that they were a worker came and said to me that I'd been put there because I was, for my safety, but also there'd been complaints from our neighbours about domestic abuse from my husband to me, but me to my husband. And that I'd been abusing my husband, stopping him getting treatment, stopping him having his meds, and being abusive to the dogs as well. And they kept that up. And then a couple of days later, the officers came and got me, again took me miles out around the houses and that, and then finally took me to this place where there was sofas and suites, and apparently there was video cameras, not that I could see the cameras. And they said to me, if you want to help your husband with his mental health, and I said, all I want is my husband to be well, and all I want is him to have counselling and be all right. That's all I want, and I want to go home because I want to be with him and I love. They said, if you want to be with your husband, you love him and you want to help him, then just explain how your husband's illness affects him on a day-to-day basis. So I sat there and was just like, well, and explained how it affects him, and they were like, and what do you want to happen? And I was like, well, I'd like him to get some counselling, for one thing, because I think he needs that. Maybe some anger management as well, because when he has episodes, he gets, and then angry, but not with me, but in just general with himself and things. And then I was basically just saying things like that, and they were like, okay. And then they took me back to that place, and then I finally find out that they actually arrested him, tried to charge him with being abusive and all this, that and the other, which wasn't true.
So I can put my part into this bit. And then upon being released, guys, I got told that my wife had left me. Literally, she'd left me.
Yeah.
I weren't allowed to contact her, obviously, to find out anything because I'm on bail. They took my dogs away from me. I didn't know where they were. I didn't find out where they were for 3 whole days.
I didn't even know they took the dogs at first.
Yeah, for 3 days I didn't know where the dogs were. And we only had £1,000 savings. And they made me spend the entire lot, if I can just take the phone a minute, as you can see, guys, to do our living room and everywhere else in the house. So, including telly and everything. So we pretty much now have no money at all. And I'd like to get this point across. Yeah. So they also said, guys, that I was abusing the wife in the sense that we lived separate lives, in the sense that my wife obviously had a place before she met me. My wife is 2 years older than me, so therefore, she had a life before me and she had her own flat. And obviously this is our first marital home together, our actual house. And she had all the bills in her name, and she'd pay all the bills, and I would have my money, and I'd split it with her, and we'd have fun. We'd go out for dates, we'd buy things together, so on and so forth. They said that was abuse in their eyes. And instead of just saying, look, you're going to have to start paying half the bills with her, and that, because I would have been more than willing to do that anyway, guys. I mean, everything was 50-50. Well, like my wife was a slave and she never got anything. But instead, they did it a different way. What they actually did was they just cancelled all my wife's bills in this house from day of dot. They did that, and I had to sort them out in my name. In the process of them doing that, now bear in mind what the wife just said, guys, that she's been to see this woman to help with financial problems. We didn't have a lot of money as it was. And now, with the midst of this happening, they've now upped our bills because my wife had paid the TV license all the way up to November and didn't have to pay a damn penny up to that point. But now I've had to take on the TV license as a new TV holder, and my TV license has gone from £13 a month to £26.50 a month, and will be that until January of next year. I've now had to increase the BT bill from £60 a month to $69.99 a month. Literally everything's gone up for me because I never had the bills in my name. They were in my wife's name. And the thing is, guys, I was arrested on July 13th. But I got a letter from our housing benefit saying that my wife had been moved out of the property on July 12th. that means that was on the Monday. Now, for her to be removed from the house on the Monday, we was together on the Monday and thought nothing of it. I didn't get arrested and she didn't get taken away from me till the Tuesday. So that means that this was planned, and we both feel bullied, guys. I mean, we really, really do. I mean, obviously, I don't know everything until now, because obviously I couldn't speak to my wife. As you all know, I've been making videos, I've been missing her. And I'm not even going to lie, guys. At one point, I became very suicidal, and I nearly went through with it. The policewoman that came here, that's all I'm going to say is policewoman, she explained to me that this was done purely out of love from my wife. That's what they said. Making it like it was my wife's doing, but it wasn't. And, you know, I don't know who's the bad guy in this picture, whether it's the policewoman or whether it's just the woman that my wife's been seeing about our finances and that lot, because finding out, guys, that she also was a high-up police officer before she became what she's doing now. But there is a little bit of discrepancy with it, being that she was all nice and friendly and couldn't help my wife enough until she found out that some of the people that abused my wife, their husband was also a police officer and she knew him. When she found out she knew him, the background towards us was changed. She stopped helping us financially. She pretty much tried to make excuses everywhere, saying it was the boss's fault and that. We had evidence to prove that our housing officer said they would reimburse us the money for all that damage done in the property once we'd proven it was done by mold, which we did. And Naomi... bollocks, never mind, doesn't matter, don't know the rest of her name. I'll give her name, guys, doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, right, it doesn't matter. The end of the day, guys, yeah, I'm not the brightest one to say it doesn't matter, right? There's a million Naomis. But the point is this, guys, yeah? She pretty much has seen me once in my whole entire life of being, you know, where my wife's gone to see her. She's seen me once, guys. I bet you I could stand in a lineup and she wouldn't be able to pull me out of it, because she has no damn clue what I look like. She does not have a single clue about any of my tattoos or anything. Yet she said to my wife, she assumed, and that's exactly what she said. She said, I assumed that he was abusive, bullying, and all of that. And I would like someone, you know, maybe one day someone on here might know someone of a high authority that would be willing to make a story or something on schizophrenia, because it's easy to point the finger at somebody who hasn't got it. I would love to give experience from somebody that has it and be like, it's not what everyone thinks it is. Everyone automatically thinks you've got this voice in your head that automatically takes over to you and you go and kill people. That is not at all what it's about. It really ain't. And I should know 3 members of my family have it. And it is ridiculous how far. I mean, I felt scared, guys, and felt like I had no rights. I literally felt like I was going to get arrested or locked up, or even worse, lose my wife for absolutely nothing, guys. I mean, I've got no background of violence apart from self-defense, and all of it has been proven to be self-defense as well. But, like, I've never hit a woman, a child. I've never been an animal abuser or nothing like that. My dogs literally love us galore. We got pictures and pictures and pictures. You've seen my dogs, guys, in videos. Do they look scared to you? And we haven't got the dogs back at the moment. That is because of our own choice at the moment. Because we do want to have an area built so that they've got a bit of a better area for each other, as well as for us. And then, obviously, we can take our dogs for walkies and we can get them new toys and stuff like that. So they will be back, guys. And when they come back, we will also be making a video on that. But I just wanted to say before passing the phone back to the wife that I just felt very, very much scared, vulnerable, and pretty much felt like a modern-day slave. And, like, I had no rights, guys. And, like, what was said about me made me feel like I was some giant monster, and I'm not. So here's that.
The point is, you were left here thinking I didn't want to be with you.
Yeah, there was no indication
of that. They were saying to me that I couldn't speak to you, I couldn't go back to you, and that they made it that way. They took my bank card off me, cancelled it, so I had no money. They took my car away from me.
I'd also like to say this, though, yeah? I'd like to say this as on record, that you have evidence and proof dating years, literally years, of all the things that these certain people have done to you.
Yeah.
And that was all brushed away to come after me
but
again.
What I'm saying is, in this circumstance, they put me somewhere in a room and they took away my handbag, they took away my whole purse, they cancelled all my cards, cancelled my car insurance, cancelled all the bills on me, cancelled my phone, took my phone away from me, cancelled your phone, took your phone away from you because I paid the bill. They took everything. They literally had me in the clothes I stood up in, and that was it. And for 3 weeks they kept me. The only other thing they gave me was someone else's bed sheets and second-hand pair of pyjamas, but I had the same clothes for 3 weeks until finally I managed. They let me out on a day pass because I could behave myself for an hour. And when I walked out, I suddenly realised where they'd had me locked in, and I legged it in where I was, walked in the bank and explained my situation and begged to take some money out over the counter, a small amount, which they allowed. Once they did that, I walked to the nearest train station, got to the train station and got on a train, something I haven't done in many, like 20 years, because I've got problems, I've got anxiety and I've got issues, but I did it. I made it here. I got a phone box. I rang my father-in-law because that's the only telephone number I could think of. Because I was told whatever I did, I wasn't allowed to speak to Christopher. I didn't know where Christopher was or anything.
And after she took the car, I didn't even know the car was missing for 4 days.
My father-in-law left the car out in the key for me, and I got to my car and I took it. I then drove to my in-laws where I hid out, and then the police and the people that where I'd been locked, what they call a refuge to keep people safe, and believe me guys, because they were sitting there watching you wash and insisting on it, and I call that perverted. Now I ain't gonna lie, I've been in mental health care in hospitals when I was a teenager, and I tell you now, I never been stood there being watched wash like they were.
Can I say something again in a minute?
Yeah, but that's the situation I was in, and every day I kept handing the police and trying to get solicitors to drop this so I could finally come home.
And while all this is going on, guys, I've had no clue this is going on. I mean, like I said, guys, I was here. I was stuck here. I couldn't talk to my wife. I didn't even have my phone. They didn't let me have my phone back for 2 weeks, which I gave up willingly, guys, to show them that I had nothing to hide. All they was going to find was millions of texts of saying, I love you more, I love you more, I love you more. They tried to say that I stopped my wife going to Slimming World because when she started Slimming World, she's not going to lie, she was a hefty 17 stone, which didn't bother me, guys. That didn't bother me at all. I loved my wife no matter what. I always thought she was sexy to me, yeah? And she ended up getting down to 6 stone and almost dying. And so the doctor stopped her going, but I got the blame for that. I got the blame for the fact that she wears similar clothes that she likes to wear. My wife likes wearing leggings, loose clothing. She likes wearing it. It's just summer casual wear. Like me, guys, I wear jeans 99% of the time unless I'm indoors. Then I'll wear lounge trousers, like i.e. lounge trousers. Yeah. But apparently that's not allowed, and I just kind of felt that they was making excuses for everything to get me on something, guys. I mean, I'm no slouch, guys. I'm really no slouch. I bodybuild and I weightlift a lot. I don't use any enhancements like steroids or nothing like that, but I'm not gonna lie, guys. In a lot of people, what would you say? I'm built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah. I suppose if you were saying that you are stocky.
Yeah, I am. I've got a 68-inch chest and 17-inch arms.
Yeah.
You know, my forearms are literally chunky, guys. They are chunky. They're massive. I can't get my hand. I'll give an example, guys. My wife puts her hand on my arm. You got to come down a bit. You can see that her hand can't even go round my forearm. So I'm not exactly no slouch. I tried, and even my solicitor said to me, someone of your build, if you hit someone, especially a female, he said they would definitely be concerned for hospital because you definitely break something. And I was like, it physically makes me feel sick. And I don't know about you guys, but when I read about children being hurt or women being hurt by a man or something like that, it physically makes me feel sick. So I told them that. They think it was all hilariously funny. I don't see where that's funny, personally. I live by the motto, real men don't hit women. They don't. You just don't do it. It don't matter if you're in a relationship that's abusive and the woman's abusive to you, you get out of it. You just don't hit them back. You do never hit a woman, in my opinion. And you don't hit kids. I mean, I was brought up in a situation where I was a child, kids could get a good hiding. You could get a slap across the arse and you could get grounded. But, and did it ever happen to me? Sometimes, guys, yes, of course we get a slap across the arse. Even my nan used to slap us across the arse. But at the end of the day, guys, right, that didn't affect me. We weren't abused. We was doing something wrong to get that. And I think that generation of people is gone, because now you got kids out in the street, young as 8 and 12, carrying knives because they know damn well the parents can't stop them and tell them off. And then what happens? The parents get the blame. I mean, let's take into consideration my nephews here, guys, yeah? My sister's kids, I've heard my sister be told off because her kids have had too blacker trousers, too tighter trousers. One of her kids is eating the wrong thing at school or something. That's bullying, guys. In my opinion, that's more bullying. That's a fucking neglect. Be grateful that her kids have got clothes, got fucking pens and pencils, got food. Why would you care if he's eating a Kit Kat at break time?
One of the boys had too long a hair for their liking.
Yeah, or too short a hair. One of the boys ended up having his hair dyed to go to school, and my sister got literally the book thrown at her for it, and it was like, are you serious? Yeah, apparently. That's what I'm saying, guys, right? The system is fucked. And it's fucked because it's too much left and not enough right. It's left for some, right for others. And it's all right for me and all left for them. And when it comes to me giving my point, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
As far as I'm concerned, you were going through hell. Your end and the way they were approaching things to you. They put me in hell the way they were approaching things to me. But I ended up having for stress, my hair was falling out. Yeah. I had a rash all over my body. Your heart? I weren't sleeping, and my heart, and they were not giving me my pills. I ran out of pills. When I finally got home, I had to get emergency pills. I could have had a heart attack with the stress that they were giving me, but my hair was falling out. I couldn't sleep properly, and that was an awful. I wasn't being fed properly. And as far as I'm concerned, they were saying that I was in an abusive relationship. What they put me in was in an abusive place. And for what?
And that's what we're trying to say, guys. We're trying to tell it from our point of view that both of us, as you can see, guys, right, I did nothing to get into this situation. I mean, I was with my wife when I got arrested because at the end of the day, yeah, I just thought she was going to get the results from a blood test, yeah, and we was going to go over my mum and dad's. But that didn't happen. Obviously, my mum and dad was like, well, where are they? They haven't arrived yet. And they were put out by it.
Also, my other point is, I just wanted to state one more thing. They turned round and said that I should start a new life and leave you and they'd help me because you were making up your illness. You're not really ill, even though I've seen several psychiatrists with you. And your parents were there when you were diagnosed, but they were trying to say that you made it all up to use as a tool so you could be an abusive asshole.
Yeah, they were trying to say that my illness I'd made it up, guys, even though that I was diagnosed by the actual place called the Norvik. Now, if you don't know what the Norvik is, guys, you can Google it. It's not there anymore. It has shut down since, but if you can still Google it. It's quite a famous mental prison, I'll call it. It is more of a prison than it is of anything else. That's where they lock the criminally insane that's done something wrong. We knew someone that had gone there for serious crimes and that. But at the end of the day, they did want to lock me up because apparently my temper, and with the illness I'd been given, they said that I was potentially dangerous. Even though, guys, I'm always provoked. I was provoked, guys. They kept trying to make me look like I'm some kind of abusive arsehole, and that hurts my feelings because I don't go out of my way to hurt anybody. You can probably tell from the videos I make, guys, I am a rambling, bambling idiot, and that's how I'll always be. I mean, am I a slouch? Will I be a pushover? Of course I'm not, but you can tell, guys. You can just tell an abusive man to a non-abusive man. In my opinion, I've met many people, and I've said that's an abusive relationship. And about 3 or 4 months later, that relationship hasn't worked out, and she's been like, he was very abusive. Where I said, I told you so, and blah. Me and my wife can get anybody. Now, in this situation, guys, I don't know who the bad guy is. Like I said, I don't know if it's the policewoman, if it's all of them, or what. But I am looking into going further with this. I am. I don't know who will get in trouble and who won't, because at the end of the day, guys, it's got nothing to do with me and my wife, and it is to do with people that's so-called professional should know when they've got a case and when they haven't. I know for a fact, guys, I'm going to bring this case up in court. I'm going to, because I want them to show me the evidence they had, because I know there was no evidence. And as well as anybody else should know, that when you've got no evidence and it's hearsay, you should build a case more. You should look into it. But there was no looking into it. They just arrested me yet again. And even now, I kind of feel like it's like, right now, you behave yourself or else. But I didn't do anything to behave myself with.
Yeah, the person who's supposed to be the victim said that you hadn't done nothing. I wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I weren't being abused, and they didn't listen to me at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
How was I being treated if I had been a victim? If that's how they treat victims.
Yeah.
Good God. But as I said to the police, I was abused as a child and a teenager.
Yeah.
I know what abuse is. Do they think I'm that thick that I'd stay married to someone if they were abusing me after the abuse I went through then? Really?
I kind of found it a little bit perverted. They wanted to know about our sex life. They asked me about our sex life. Not like it's to do with any of them, how our sex life is. But, you know, as it's all got to come out. Because this video could be evidence later, guys, even to show that the date and time, we didn't make this up. And we can nail this over and over again. We don't need this to write it, because what happened, you always remember it. If some bloke ran out of an alleyway and punched you in the face, you're always going to remember what actually happened to somebody that makes it up. That's the difference. So, it's no secret, guys, my wife has been sexually assaulted. And because of that happened to her way back before she met me, our sexual life is not brilliant, guys. It's not brilliant. But I knew all of this before asking that wonderful woman to marry me. And I don't look at our relationship as always just about sex, guys. I look at it as she is everything to me, as I have said before this video, after this video, and I'll say it to the day I die. She is my better half, and she always has and always will be. It's not always just about having sex to make a relationship. If you can look past that and more than that, I think you'll have a brilliant relationship. But everything we do is for each other. And, you know, the difference that the things we've been through, we both had hard lives from start to even today. And when it's nowhere near end of our life yet, we're not old, guys. I'm 31, going 32 in October. My wife turns 34 in literally a couple more days. That's it. We're not exactly granny and granddad. And yet, we've been through more shit in that little time. I mean, my wife wasn't even born normal, guys. She was, prematurely born. She was in an incubator most of her life. She was pretty much see-through when she was born. And, you know, it's amazing. It's a miracle she's alive and here. But, you know, even now, it's like we're tested all the time. Will people leave us alone? No. You know, I mean, you can look at it any way you like, you know, or fighting it anyway, you know. And like I said, guys, I did contemplate suicide. I really did. Not because I'm weak. It's because I kind of felt that what's left for me on this planet when I'm getting bullied left, right and centre. They keep saying they want to get me to go back into work. I already know what I can and can't do, guys. And me working a full-time job, I can't do it, guys. That'll get that bad for me that I'll end up topping myself. I know I will. I'm not good under stress all the time. It's all right in drips and draps, but 24/7, 9 to 5 job, me stressed, boss telling me what to do, someone else telling me what to do, shit stir and all that, I won't do well with it, guys.
Yeah, but also I'd like to state here, and it's not letting the cat out of the bag. Yeah, some schizophrenics do work, yeah, granted. But you're not just a schizophrenic. You've got bipolar, and you've got learning disabilities, and you're autistic. So what do they want you to do?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But, you know, it is, guys. I mean, you can't win. You cannot win. You say one thing and then, oh, if you like that, then you can't do this. They always try and take away things in your life. You know what I mean? They've tried taking everything away from me. My driver's license, for one, guys, right? That was an absolute bitch to do. And I don't actually have it at the moment, guys, because it's under revocation. I've got to wait to get it back. And that's why I'm not driving at the moment, guys. That's why I'm not doing a lot at the moment, guys. It's because everything I try and do, there's always a counteract to it. And I can't win, guys, you know? It's like, I know I don't go nightclubbing because someone will say something to me or try and chat up my wife, and the first thing I'm going to do is defend my wife's honour and lamp him one. Instantly, it doesn't matter who started the fight. As soon as they hear schizophrenic, he's mentally ill, bang! It's all on me. And that is the truth, guys. It is. It's not me calling racism. It's not me trying to make people feel sorry for me. It's the truth. It really is. It is proven right here. Look, you've heard it from my wife saying, I didn't know what was going on with my wife, guys. I couldn't speak to her. I wasn't allowed. And I got told if I did, that was it. Instantly locked up and instantly put inside. I thought, wow, that's a bit extreme, isn't it?
I weren't allowed to speak to you either.
No.
But the thing is, the things that are normal for us, like, I get scared going out on my own. It's no secret. Why? It's because of my past abuse. I don't like going out on my own for that reason.
I was explaining a little bit into that, yeah, because they obviously don't.
But they tried to say that because I ring you and speak to you and text you while I'm out on my own, somehow you're controlling and abusing me.
Apparently I'm controlling her.
It's not. It's you're making me feel safe and better to be able to go out but feel safe.
See how my wife got assaulted, guys. You'd think it would happen at night or somewhere like a dark alley. No, guys, it didn't. She was actually working at the time. She was actually at her workplace. Her car was there. She was at a car park and everything. She was at her workplace. They came. They snatched her from the place she worked, took her to this remote building, and did this to her for months at a time. She was missing for months at a time. And, you know, there is more to it. I ain't going to go too much into it because there's still a lot, you know, and it is obviously my wife's life here. You know, it's not something we want to be grand. But we're just sick and tired of the bad people getting away with it.
Yeah, I was took from work. I was took to a house and I was strapped to a mattress, and I think everyone else can use their imaginations what happened there. But that's why I find it difficult going out on my own. That's why I find it difficult being in crowds, and I especially find it difficult being around men on my own. But they think that's weird that I go to the supermarket and ring my husband for moral support because I get too scared to do things on my own without hearing his voice. If I can't speak to him, then I like to speak to my in-laws or someone I know and trust because I don't feel comfortable, and they think that's weird.
As you can see, guys, asking from any point of view of any man or female that's been sexually assaulted, even once is bad enough. But this weren't once, guys. This went on for a period of over 5 years. And my wife lived in fear because they nearly killed her 3 times, and she started to believe it. Started to believe what they said. If she opened her mouth, she'd be dead. And several times she tried to take her own life. And it's all been proven, guys. They stole her inheritance and much, much more. But you know, that's a story for another day, guys. Right this second, right now, that's the long and short of it, guys. I can't keep the video going much longer because my video will stop at 40 minutes. We're already at 32. It's got longer than I wanted to, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much end it here, guys, yeah? But we'll just say a little bit more before ending it out. But as you can see, guys, we've had the really wrong end of the stick. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we do. I'm on new medication now, guys. It might be able to sound a little bit different. Maybe hear a bit different in me. I do feel a little bit better in myself. I am not going to lie. I do. But my anxiety is still through the roof. And, you know, without it, my anxiety was off the Richter scale. With it, my anxiety is, you know, still there, obviously. But, you know, when you've lived the life we've lived for so long, you know, it's like finding someone that's been living in a cave for 60 years and then bringing them out and going, here you go, just stick you on a till and start you working. Yeah, that's really going to work for them. Really going to work for them.
And I've got to say, excuse my language here if I swear, but I just want to fucking say this. At no point has my husband been abusive to me. Before we got married, while we've been married, ever, never raised a hand to me. Looked after me and protected me the whole time and loved me. And basically, he does worship me as I do him. But never ever has he been fucking abusive. And never ever have I been fucking abusive to him or the dogs.
Our dogs love us. When they come home, they're going to have a shit fit.
Fucking insulting. It really is. But the fact that we've both got our little ways and our quirks. We've got our illnesses. But our marriage works because of that. We accommodate each other.
And before I end it, guys, I'm just going to take one quote out of Scarface here and say this. Everybody points their finger at me because everybody needs the bad guy, and I'm the bad guy. And that is literally how the world perceives me. They think their lives are perfect in their image. Literally, that's what the world wants. The world wants perfect. But everybody's perfect is the way they want it. You get 100 people in a line and say, how would you change the world? It'll be different. Vegans will say, we'll have no more meat eaters. Meat eaters will say they'll have no more vegans. You'll have Muslims say they want everyone to do it their way. You'll have German people say their way. You'll have Russian people say their way. You'll have English say their way. Americans say their way. There is no right or wrong, no matter how you look at it. So everyone should be able to have their own say, and everyone should be able to have their own perfectness without being interfered with. That's my opinion. And on that note, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully this brought a little bit of clear reality into this. And if you do, guys, want to see a tour of the house as it's semi-finished, please do let me know, guys, and I'll get around to doing that. But this, guys, will be the last, hopefully last, depressing video for a while. And you guys will see new videos and new gameplays coming up on the channel because I've got 2 new games today, guys. I probably will unbox them. If I don't unbox them, they're definitely going to be gameplays up on the channel in the next few days. So stay tuned for that, guys. But in the meantime, thanks very, very much for watching this video. Thanks to all the subscribers, guys, because that means a lot. And this is me and my wife saying, fuck, the system's fucked. And we'll see you all in the next video.